Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to our first episode of our brand new podcast, The Root and Rhythm. I am one of your hosts. I'm Kim Finley.
Hey,
I wasn't done. I live here in Norfolk, Virginia. So does this man. This is Early Jackson. Go.
hey, Curly Jackson here with Kim Finley,
Yeah.
and it's the Root and Rhythm podcast, where we are exploring the roots that ground us and the rhythms that move us.
Yay. So for our first episode, we wanted to jump right into a fun topic just to kind of get the ice broken because we're learning this. We're learning this with y'all. Or y'all learning it with us. So trust and believe that we don't know what we're doing. And we're just going to go with that. So our first topic is going to be, as we promised, the cookout versus the barbecue. And it's not like a competition. It's more like we want to talk about the differences and similarities, culturally speaking, with those two things.
And I think that I think that first of all, food is a big part of all cultures, right? A lot of stuff happens around the table around food.
Mm.
So I think it's going to be cool to kind of talk about it because you've heard the funny jokes at your job or at your friend's house where, oh, we're going to invite you to the barbecue, or you can't come to the barbecue. So
Cool.
We are going to dive into all of that.
Yes.
Mhm.
And I think we do need to start with food because in the pop culture, of course, the social media world that we all live in, the jokes about the cookout from the black to the white side to the white to the black side is a constant conversation. And it's funny, but it's also there's elements of truth in it, as in all types of cultural jokes. So the first one I really want to get into because we're talking about food,
right?
And that is macaroni and cheese.
Oh.
It's a hot topic.
That is macaroni and cheese is the holy grail of Black folks' dining cuisine. Macaroni and cheese, you will fight for the right macaroni and cheese. So, what you say?
Well, no, I agree because, and I was telling earlier the story, so I'll just share in a snippet with you guys. So, I have dear friends who have invited me to their cookout, and for many years, up until the pandemic, they had it real regular, and they are Black folk, and I was one of the few white people lucky enough to be invited to the cookout. And as a joke, because this man, we'll call him Dwayne because that's his name. He would say, I'd be like, every year, what you want me to bring? Thinking he's going to say something simple like soda or napkins, because I know my place. I know what I'm doing. And he would inevitably be like, you should bring the watermelon. I had to bring watermelon one year. I almost got shot. I was really sure I was going to die. The next year, I had to bring Kool-Aid.
Kool-Aid. Now, you know that's an old school,
I
right?
know.
Kool-Aid.
Kool-Aid. The list goes on. Suffice it to say, I was the butt of many jokes, but it was great because I got to go eat and I did not mind. It was always a good time. But the macaroni and cheese thing is seminal because I was told emphatically I was not to bring that.
Do not. So we have a friend of ours, Danny, white guy, love him, awesome guy. And our first Thanksgiving hanging out over his house all week. He's leading up to this. You got to taste my macaroni and cheese. And I'm like, oh, Danny, don't say that. So he's, oh my God, this is a family recipe. You got to taste this macaroni and cheese. Well, when we get there, we're, loading our plates and he pulls out this creamy, like white cheese, macaroni and cheese. And I'm standing there like,
even I know you have to use 4 cheeses.
And so he piled some on my plate, and my wife was like, are you going to eat it? I was like, Danny, I'm sorry. It would be they would revoke my black card if I ate this and called it macaroni and cheese. Love you, but I can't eat this. So we see that macaroni and cheese can very easily be messed up.
And divisive. People get heated over their family's mac and cheese recipe and like sharing those recipes. There's a whole like level of like, you got to be in to be able to even get that recipe if it's a good one. Like there's a whole level. So yeah. Now I will tell you from the barbecue side of the fence.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have cookout.
So, and again, white folk, we tend to have like, we call it a cookout, but it's not. We have a barbecue, and our barbecues do not consist of necessarily like in terms of the meats that are served, because the cookouts have a certain type of meats that are going to be served. That's
ribs,
the core. There you go.
Chicken, hot dogs, hamburgers, pot roast. I don't know, other stuff, all kinds of meat.
All the things.
Yeah, sausage. Yeah.
Whereas And again, this is again a cross-country cultural thing too, because in some places in America, if you invite someone to barbecue, they expect barbecue, like as in pulled pork with sauce, or as in brisket or ribs or something like that, where it's like those large, heavy, roasted, grilled meats, right? And for a lot of us, for most, especially when there's kids involved, it's like literally it's the family reunion that you might go to once every 5 years, and it's just hot dogs and hamburgers because that's what the kids will eat. And that's how we do it. And we also have mac and cheese, but we aren't as particular. Clearly, clearly we're not. It shows. Having been to cookouts, I know the difference. We also tend to have the focus. I think it is a potluck, which I think the cookouts also are almost always a potluck.
Yeah, everybody has to bring
something. Everybody's got to participate.
Unless you can't cook. If your family ever tells you to bring napkins and paper plates, don't question it. That means you are not a good cook. I'm telling you the truth, right? So, yeah, go ahead.
No, that's true across the board for everybody. Nobody wants to eat bad food. Don't bring me homemade fried chicken if you can't make fried chicken properly.
Oh, God, no.
And I'm saying this as someone from Alabama. Do not bring me fried chicken if it's not to the level of like churches. I'm not interested. Go to churches and get 2 buckets.
Double crunch. Can I throw another one out?
Yeah.
Now, this is going to start a debate. Potato salad.
Oh. Okay, first of all, just to like address the trope online, I have never once met a white person who put raisins in potato salad. That's fucking disgusting. But
I don't think I have either.
I think that someone made that
joke,
up.
But
probably someone did it, because I've seen also those cooking videos on TikTok where they put the most disgusting things in a pan and then cook it. It's great. And it's always some weird white lady from Indiana. But all right. Anyway, I would never. I don't even like potato salad, really. And I know that gets me in trouble. You like potato salad? No, I don't.
I don't eat potato salad.
What?
I will not eat it. I don't like it.
It's heavy.
Yeah, I don't want it. And no, I don't like potato salad. My wife likes potato salad. I don't.
My husband will eat everything. That's fair. Okay, so cookout, holiday, so staples. So at your cookouts, do y'all prefer? So it's pretty much you. Are you sticking to the heavier roasted meats, or do people bring, like, will they show up with a bucket of KFC or something like that? Like, how does that addressed?
So typically, the bougie family member, the bougie aunt, or
we all got one.
Yeah, or the uncle who's single, he travels a lot. They'll come with something already prepared from a store.
Yeah,
right. So they'll bring a tray of whatever, other than hot dogs and hamburgers. So hot dogs and hamburgers are pretty much a staple. Yeah. But at a black folks cookout, the kids better not get steak. They better not get anything. All you can get is a hot dog or a hamburger. That will get you in trouble at a black cookout if you let a kid grow up and grab a big old steak. They're like, wait, what the hell?
I've never even thought about that.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
I don't know that that's ever, but then again, I don't know that we have the very exciting meats at our
exciting meats.
We're just not. I mean, maybe the ones I've been to just haven't been that bougie, but like it's just all hamburgers and hot dogs because that's easy. Because so the point of a cookout, barbecue, get together, whatever you want to call it, and these are often family reunions on both sides. I think that happens a lot. Period. Because you get everybody in a park and whatever, pay $100 for the grill and the kiosk and blah blah blah, and you're good.
Just to sweat, but yeah,
oh my god, it's always so hot, and everybody has to wear matching shirts, and I don't like that. Why is it always a bad color? It's always like neon orange.
Last week had on the matching.
I saw it. I saw the pictures.
I was at a family reunion last week. They were black T-shirts. I like that one. I really like that T-shirt. But yeah, we were all at the park. We had on black shirts and different parts of the family. So we had this part, then we had the Tilleries, then we had the white, and all that good stuff. But yeah, I was out there sweating with a family reunion shirt,
and it was good. And the board said it was good. I'm now at the age where I get overwhelmed at family reunions and they're too big. I'd like to go for the food, and then I'm going to talk to about 5 people, and I'm going to leave. And I'm not wearing your T-shirt. You know what? If you want me to wear your T-shirt, pick a better color. Pick a better color. And I'm speaking to my family. Why is everything orange or neon yellow or bright green? That doesn't look good on me.
What would an ideal color be for you? Because you look nice and, ebony skin.
I would wear black. That's all I wear. Black and gray.
Wait, I just said ebony skin. I meant
I was at Ebony's.
bronzy,
I'm
right?
tan
You got
today.
a nice tan.
I'm not always
Yeah.
tan. I'm just saying. But like, have you seen, like, it's like when you see those white people that go to Disney and all the family wears the t-shirts. Okay, it's always some hideous color. And why are you wearing dark red t-shirt in the middle of the sun in July? Why?
Oh, because it's cheaper to buy those colors
Yep.
in bulk.
You know what? That's where being the bougie aunt works. I'll buy everybody's t-shirt if it could just be a nice t-shirt. That
Okay,
I don't mind
so
wearing.
what color would the t-shirt be?
Like teal or aqua or like
Terracotta.
soft pink, terracotta, something that's light that breathes, a decent fabric,
maybe a mauve,
not cut like it's built for a man. I'm just saying, I'm very particular. Again, I am the bougie aunt. It's me.
We can literally go into business with designing upper
crust,
upper class, or high end family reunion shirts.
Yeah,
we get a swoop collar, maybe a pink lapel, maybe some of those things.
Coordinating headbands, whatever. But like, it's not whatever. That's not normal, and I know that. It's fine. Okay. This is how we tangent. We went from there to here and here to there, and I don't know. You're going to get used to it.
You're going to get used, because that's what we do. I mean, we should tell them about how we even picked the name.
Yes.
The Root and Rhythm Podcast. It was scientific and it was strategic. It was down to, like, we brought in MIT graduates to help us.
We brought in his wife to help us. That's what we did.
But go ahead, tell them what we did.
What did we do? Okay, so we had a title. We had 4 titles we liked. We narrowed it to 2, and then we started going on YouTube to make sure they weren't already used, and everything we liked was already used. And because apparently great ideas are not just us. Very annoying. So several and we got stuck because we were like, well, I'm out of inspiration now, because our brains were kind of hooked on like what we had thought of. And so we were talking to Siri, and Siri was stupid. And she was annoyed with us as well. Clearly.
I could hear it in her voice. She was like, okay, y'all pick
We're like, can you make it funnier? And she was like, okay. I mean, she was not happy, but we weren't happy with her. So it's fair. So we finally called Charisse on speaker, and we're like, we're stuck. And she brainstormed with us. And then we had 2 that we couldn't decide. We just couldn't decide. So then we flipped a coin for it, because that's what grown-ups do.
Right. When you don't know what to do, flip a coin. So heads, you could have had any other name. We don't know.
We don't know anymore.
This is the name we stuck with.
This is the name that landed on the coin on. So now we're the Root and the Rhythm Podcast. And our first name was nothing like that. But here we are.
And I like what we're trying to do is, it's a white girl from Alabama.
Middle-aged white lady, right here.
I know she looks incredible. Middle-aged, I know. Middle-aged black guy.
Hard to believe.
From Philly. And we've been friends.
2010?
The end of 2010.
2010. So we met, I'm just watching the clock. We met through networking stuff, and immediately clicked. And then I was divorcing at the time. Yes, going through it. And I always like to tell him, because he'll be like, you did this and this, this. And I was like, dude, I was so broke and cried in the shower every day. Look how good I covered that shit up. It was great. For real, though. That was the recession time, y'all. It was hard. And then I met his wife, and I was like, even more so sold. And we've just been like soul friends ever since. And
we've shared many dinners together.
We've shared a lot of birthdays and dinners and parties and wine and other things.
And it's beautiful, I think, because there is so much commonality, right? There's some core things, and we were talking about this, core things that are important to us: loyalty,
yes,
honesty, integrity, right? Those things, hard work, but got to have a strong party streak. We've had some
we've had some good times.
Epic parties.
Our New Year's alone are just worthy of envy of everyone. They're really fun.
If you all have never done a Bangkok New Year, you start at about 11?
One time we started at 9 a.m. I don't recommend that. We were polluted. But we usually start around 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock now, because we're older now. So sad.
And every time zone, when it gets to a New Year's, you grab a toast.
And we toast everything from I think my personal favorite, Azerbaijan. Everyone knows that's my favorite one to toast. It's usually around 2 or 3 o'clock. I don't know. We've been drinking by then. My husband's job is to make the signature drink at these parties. So every year he comes up with something new.
And he's a good guy, great cook.
Good at mixing. Good at mixing cocktails.
Mixologist, yes.
And then we also have bubbles for the toast. So it winds up being, and everyone's home by like dark, and we're safe, and no one's driving, and we're very responsible adult people.
That's what we do, yeah.
But we're having so much fun.
And if you were to put a camera into our parties, you'd see people,
All
all
types.
ethnicities, all cultures, all orientations.
Oh, yeah.
And we're just rallying around the fact that we love each other.
We have a good time. And we have a good time.
Yeah.
So I do think there's, you want to speak on a serious way to like, are we aligned? Because the politics thing is so important these days and so integral to everyone's consciousness. Yes. I do think that makes a difference for us too. We've always been very aligned politically, socially, in terms of our morality, which helps. But also he and I have had shifts over the last 15 years or so we've been friends where we've shifted our focus to other things. And we're going to talk about that a lot more in the next episode, just about the changes we've seen in ourselves and each other and how it reflects. Because we are very, very, very much on the same path. Even though we come from very disparate like childhoods and backgrounds, because he's from the north and I'm very from the south, and I like my southern identity, except as it comes to like, red states. So
right.
Like I like iced tea and ceiling fans, okay? That's what I like. I enjoy a drawl.
A halfway decent drawl.
We like a drawl, and if I'm thinking about up north, I mean their tea is terrible, but the food's pretty good.
Food is good.
And
the fact that, like right now in 2025, and I was just telling Sharice this, I feel like I'm on my fourth early since 2010. Like my fourth iteration. So,
yes.
Iteration. That's good. Yeah. So, like, I'm not who I was then, but I am, if that makes sense. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I think that's all. I mean, if you're evolving, you should be evolving. You don't stop evolving until you're dead. So, I think that's very true too. Like you really, unless you want to, which how boring is that? Ew. Then you don't get invited to cookouts because you're not any fun.
And I don't know if you read, my wife writes, right? She has a great online presence. She's a great writer. And she just wrote a piece the day after our family reunion. And she talks about how, especially in our culture, how family reunions represented how families that were fragmented because of, the South, because of Jim Crow, whatever. And that family reunion part was a time for us to remember, come back together so that we could get to know each other, things like that. So I wonder what kind of significant things happen when you have those gatherings, maybe from where you're from.
So I will tell you, it's interesting. And I think some of that's true. And I think people are just in America, unlike other parts of the world, because we can all be so flung far, like for instance, the family I grew up in, my adopted family, my dad's generation was the first one to go to college, and they all went to college, girls and boys, everybody went. And as a result of that, of course, professionally speaking, a lot of them were out and about and moved away from the core of the family, which was in Birmingham, Alabama. And so
Birmingham, Alabama.
Yeah.
A little history there, huh?
That's it's so pleasant.
Yeah.
And so amazing how people down there don't know it, but I do. That's fine. So that's why I don't live there anymore. So I know, tangent.
I love it.
I'm working my way back to my thought.
Okay.
So ours, we would have like only every 4 or 5 years, and usually one of the matriarchs of the family, in this case, my Aunt Catherine, was in my childhood, was the one. She had a home large enough to host 100 and so people, and she had the facilities to do it, and she had the money to do it, if we're being honest. So she was the host. Of course, it was potlucky, but she bore a lot of that expense, and it was the one time a year where a lot of the cousins got to meet each other because, again, my grandmother was one of 9 children. My dad was an only, but all the other cousins he had were multiples. So there was tons of kids my age that I never got to see.
Wow.
Except at this. And that was really fun. In retrospect, I wish I had valued that more. But as a child, you don't know that.
Wow.
You don't know that it matters. And I wish we told our children better about the importance of like why family matters and why it's important to stay connected. Now, don't be wrong. If you don't like them, that's different. You don't have to.
We're not telling you to be connected to
No.
something toxic.
No.
No.
But just in general, if that's a connection you value, like I wish we were taught to value staying connected. This is the pre-internet. This is stay connected. Back then, you had to write letters and postcards and stuff, man.
And go to the post office.
And
put them in the box.
Phone was expensive, so it's different. I think I like the way from outside looking in. I like looking at how Black culture values their family reunions and makes it a thing.
Yeah.
As much as I will laugh at it half the time because I'm just like, another T-shirt, come on. But I think y'all build the value into it, and everyone from the littles to the olds knows it. It's worth doing, and everybody makes a real commitment to attend. And I do think that is really worthwhile, even though I only get to bring napkins.
Well, I mean, napkins are important. Kool-Aid is vital. But I think, okay, so here's a random question I'm throwing out there. In your culture, how important are cousins?
I think every family's different.
Okay. So I'll tell you what ours is, but I'll hear you.
Yeah, no, I don't, not like it should be, not like I wish it was. I guess I'll say that.
Okay.
Not like I wished it was.
And I'm sure that there are outliers everywhere, but typically what I've found is that Black families, their cousins are more closer to siblings because of the fragmenting of families. So when we see our cousins, like my cousins and I, we grew up like brothers. Like my first cousin, we were in each other's beds. We ate together, everything. So, but I was always curious about that because I don't hear a lot of white folks talk about cousins. I don't know, what is that a thing?
I think it depends on how you're brought up. Like my birth family, all the cousins are very close. Of the kids, like in my birth family, there's 4 of us siblings. Of course, I'm the oldest, and then there's 3 others, and then there's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cousins. Okay, of that generation, right? Of the 4 of us grown-ups, there's as many kids. I will say, with a couple of exceptions, those cousins are pretty dang close because they were raised to be. They're very sibling-like.
Okay.
They're not too far apart in ages. And I think it's invaluable for them. It makes me really happy to see it. I hope they hold on to it as they grow into adulthood, because that's the test. It takes effort.
So now, talking about cookouts and barbecues, how is it that we are, in our 50s, not old, but we're in our 50s? How do we kind of help spar that tradition? Because we know how important family is. So how do we do that? Because it's the youngers are just like, I'll see.
They don't. I will say that I don't. Although I don't know, my daughter throws potlucks all the time. She's 29, and with her friends, like they do it very informally. They'll just get a wild hair and be like, "We're doing a potluck at the beach," and everybody, okay, and they have a great time. So I don't think that generation doesn't know how to do it, but I think we look a lot at the youngers, and again, they've been raised online. They didn't have to have effort to make connection. And I do think that changes the conversation a little bit. And so many of them are like, they don't want to be in a group of people. They don't want to be in a big old picnic ground surrounded by people, everybody talking at once. Like, that is not everybody's jam. It's not even mine. Like, I can't do it for so long. I'd be like, it's nice to see y'all. Hugs and kisses. I got to go. Because I can only do but so much. But I do wonder how much of that is the younger, like the kids that we would call 18 and under now. Like, they're not. They don't seem to care about that. But I don't know if that's because we're Gen X, so maybe we didn't do a good job of helping them learn that. I don't know.
And I probably just threw a whole blanket out there because I know you're probably looking like, oh, I think of this. I'm not saying everybody. I'm just saying from my perspective, it seems like a lot of younger people are just kind of like, cool, I'll text you, but not necessarily in each other's faces, spending time together.
Having intimate relationships, and I don't mean romantic, I'm talking about but like knowing someone really well, having the difficult conversations, someone who really knows your ugly parts as well as your good stuff, which is really valuable in a family context. Mm-hmm. Because to some extent, no one can know you better than your siblings and your cousins because they live the same shit, at least for a while, right? Mostly, again, generally.
And the crazy part is they're usually the hardest ones to kind of convince of things because they lived with us.
They're like, it's not that bad. You're like, no, it's trauma. And they're like, it's fine.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And just that whole dynamic of family, it's crazy that we we need each other so much, but we spend so little time together.
But it always comes back to food. People show up for food. Anthony Bourdain had it right when he said that if you really want to connect people, all you need to do is put everyone around a dinner table, and eventually things will eventually work out.
Wow.
I think there's a lot to be said for that. I think that's the value of the cookout, the barbecue, the family reunion, those things, is it puts you all in one place for a little while. You got to drop all your extraneous BS.
Slow down.
You got to talk. You got to eat. You're going to talk about, if nothing else, you're going to talk about the food. That's the safe topic. Food and weather. We can all talk about food and weather.
No religion and very little sports. Very little sports.
Please, for the love of God.
Unless you're.
But I will happily dissect Aunt Matilda's potato salad if we need to do that. Like, we can have a whole conversation, cousin conversation about that.
Aunt Matilda and that potato salad. Yeah. Oh, that's what I was going to ask you. What about the family members that bring the crap that nobody eats?
Oh, I feel bad for them because they know. You know they know.
Nobody wants your rhubarb pie, right?
I mean, not unless you added a lot of sugar. But I feel bad for those people. And I'm always kind of like, do they know? So do they just don't care?
So run them off. What are some bad things?
Like
we're going to change names.
Store-bought cookies. Well,
store-bought cookies. How about the cookies that come in a blue can? The Danish cookie.
Look.
First of all,
no.
In a Black family, when you see that can, there are no cookies in it.
They're sewing materials. I know. Ask me how I know.
Every one of them. How do you know that? I
got other Black friends. You're not my only Black friend.
Now I feel jealous.
I've learned things.
But yeah, so stuff like that, it's bad, right? And you know it's bad. So what do you do with that? I
just feel bad for them and ignore it and pretend I don't see it. And nobody takes it home in their takeaway containers because
it's so pitiful, though. Can we give a shout out to the people whose dishes are full when they leave and they have to take that same dish back home again?
So I just leave it. I would just leave it. I'd just walk away and be like, what?
I like when they say, no, I need my dish back. Take the whole damn thing with you.
It's all a gift. Thank you for hosting. And I'm done. I don't want to know. I don't even want to know. It's embarrassing because I've been the person who took the thing that wasn't that well received once. And I did feel bad. Not bad enough to say anything about it, but bad enough to leave it all behind.
So I got to ask, what was it?
It was some kind of something with asparagus. I don't remember. I think I had just not seasoned it properly. Like it was again, here's another tip. Don't try anything new.
Don't get fancy.
Before you go to someone's cookout or barbecue.
Please don't freestyle. This is not the time to freestyle.
That's what I did. I got creative. That was a bad idea.
No, I'm going on YouTube and try. No, absolutely not. Do not do that. Go with what you know or go store-bought.
Yeah, be safe. Just be safe out there, people. All right, it is just about to the end of barbecue and cookout season in terms of the summer, and I'm really fine with that because I'm tired and it's hot. But we'd like to hear y'all's thoughts. So definitely, this is going up on YouTube primarily. We'll have snippets elsewhere, but like YouTube, we're just learning. Just give us time. But we would love to have some comments and some engagement. So if you have thoughts or you have comments or you think we're idiots, that's fine too. Be kind of nice. Like, say it in a nice way.
You can't call me nothing I ain't been called before.
I mean, you can't tell me shit, but still, don't.
Be nice.
But don't. Just be nice. But like also, throw topics at us. You think it would be fun to hear. We'd like to know what you'd like to hear us talk about. Does that make sense?
It does.
Or to hear it discussed. And between the two of us, we talk all the time about all kinds of things. So we probably already got something in the hopper for that. You don't even know. Anything else you want to wrap up with?
I'm excited. See, episode 1 of the Root and Rhythm podcast, where we explore. There we go. Where we explore the roots that ground us and the rhythms that move us.
We're trying to find a way. We got to come up with some sort of, I don't know. We're learning. We're figuring it out. Anyway, peace out, y'all. Have a great rest of the week. We'll see you next week with a new episode. You got to go hit the button. Go hit the button. Bye.